Hey, this is Todd Luck coming at you with another Pokemon Go video from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And when you're playing downtown, you're going to be able to see a lot of gyms on the outskirts. And this is a video on how to get to these gyms. I'll show you where they're at. Some are going to be on the east side, some are going to be on the west side. These are gyms that can be walked from downtown if you're at various parts of downtown, but I highly recommend driving to them. Alright, so here we go. One gym that's near downtown is this water tower on 9th and Chestnut. It's accessible a couple different ways when you're driving. You can get to it by taking Liberty Street to Chestnut. This is not the Liberty Street that's downtown. This is another Liberty Street that's going to dead end at the Winston Cup Museum. And the Winston Cup Museum, located off of Martin Luther King Drive, is also a way to get to it. This Winston Cup Museum is located on Martin Luther King Drive. You can pull into its parking, which is in the rear, and that will get you very close to that water tower. Also worth noting is that this museum is a PokeStop, so you can get supplies on your way in. And it looks like a pretty neat place to look around as well. Might want to go inside and just check it out. So this parking lot in the back of the Winston Cup Museum is a good place to drive to get close to it, but unfortunately it keeps telling me I'm too far away if I park in this parking lot and try to battle for the gym. Occasionally it has told me I could access it from here, but I can't do it consistently, so you're going to have to get a little closer. So while the gym doesn't seem to work consistently from the Winston Cup parking lot, it does work on the sidewalks and from this abandoned parking lot across Chestnut Street. Just be careful if you're coming here after hours. There's not a lot around here other than this water tower. And here's the gym. And as you can see, even though it is impractical, it has still been claimed and is guarded. So yeah, it's amazing how people are finding these things no matter where they're at. If you watched my Arts District video and you had kept going down Trade Street out of downtown, you would have come across this beautiful church. It's called New Bethel Baptist Church. It's a historically black church that's over a century old, and this is a gym. And so here's the gym. It's accessible if you park near it. I'm parked across the street right now. Just keep in mind that this place can get very busy. It's a church, so obviously there are sermons, classes, events, all that good stuff held here. Church gyms are not that common on this side of town, but if you go to Silas Creek Parkway, there are tons and tons of gyms and churches in and around Silas Creek Parkway. Also on the outskirts of downtown, on the corner of 6th and Spring Street, is this little free library, and this is also a gym. This is pretty much a great gym for this neighborhood, but it's also accessible if you park near it. You can actually park in the parking lot across the street or across the street, you know, if you can actually find parking. And even better, not only is there a gym here, but if you look across the street, there is also a PokeStop over here. And here are the pictures on the side of that building that's a PokeStop. And this is really interesting to come and look at if you happen to be down here and try to take the gym. And here's the gym. And as you can see, it's very well guarded, and it's actually guarded by my team. Go Mystic! And here's the PokeStop. Again, this is really convenient, you know, to replenish your supplies if you come down here. and also really convenient for this neighborhood. I wish there were gyms and PokeStops within walking distance of where I live. So on the very edge of downtown, on the corner of Broad and 4th Street, is a gym. It's right across the street from the Winston-Salem Foundation and also the West End Coffee House and this apartment complex. And it is for a historic marker, but that historic marker is no longer there. This is the actual gym. Yeah, I have no idea what happened to this historic marker. Usually if they put up a historic marker, it stays up, but you can access it on any street corner in this intersection. And you could also just go into the West End Coffee House across the street. Seems like a cool place to hang out, and you could also battle for it there, as far as I can tell. And heck, if you lived in this apartment complex, you might be able to access it from some of the apartments in there. And here's the gym. This is another one taken by Team Mystic, my team, and it is well guarded. And here's a historic marker that should be here but isn't. Again, it doesn't matter, the gym still counts, but that's what it would look like if it was still here. On Burke Street, at the corner of Brookstown Avenue and Burke Street, there is this painted advertisement, very old painted picture on the side of a building, and this is a gym. It's got a pretty good range. It's accessible across the street. You can definitely get it on the sidewalk, probably inside of the Lighthouse restaurant, which is right across the street. And so also across the street is City Beverage, and they sell all kinds of alcoholic beverages, wine, beer, etc. And they've also got a bar with nice couches and stools and everything. You can sit down, and you can actually take the gym from there if you want. And also an added bonus is that they are a PokeStop, so you can replenish your items. There's also many businesses on the same side of the street you can access it on. This is a very active street, and worth noting is this is the North Star LGBT Community Center, and they have a sign up inviting Pokemon trainers to come in and beat the heat. I'm assuming the gym is accessible from inside of here. They're not open right now, so I can't test that theory, but it definitely looks like it. And it's probably a place worth checking out if you're over here too. And here's the gym. And this is another one taken by Team Mystic, which seems to be dominant on the West End here. And here is the PokeStop for City Beverage. And again, you can come here and get some supplies while you're down here. There are several gyms located at the BB&T Ballpark. This statue right here at the entrance of the field is one of the gyms. And here's the gym. Now this is on a Saturday and there are no baseball games here, so I assume that this is something that people can get to, you know, just drive into the parking lot and access at any time. But I'm not that familiar with the ballpark, but it seems to be working fine for me on a Saturday morning when no one's here. So as I'm driving around the baseball park to get to the gym on the other side, there's a PokeStop right here. I'm not sure about its exact location. It looks like it's inside the ballpark, and I don't have access to the inside, but you can get it from the parking lot. People who go to Dash games can, you know, probably fill you in about the exact location and how accessible it is from inside the seating. And here's the PokeStop. So this historic marker is the other gym located at the ballpark. However, this is really impractical. You would have to be walking along the sidewalks that go by the ballpark. This is Peters Creek and Ballpark Way right here. Or I guess you could come in this clearing. I guess you could park at the ballpark and walk into this clearing, or be walking down here with the sidewalks. But it's not the most practical gym here, or historic marker, but it is here. And here's the gym. It's for a historic marker for a African American community that used to be here. And note that I am in the BB&T parking lot, parked as close as humanly possible, and I am still too far away. So you will have to get out to get closer to this thing to battle for it. Looks like some people have definitely done that and have left some rather formidable Pokemon in their wake. So good luck. And this is a gym. I will say that the mural on it is beautiful, but this is kind of interesting part of town. There's not a lot of people around. Looks a little run down. I would definitely be cautious if I ventured down here. We're at the corner of Northwest Boulevard and Rundell Street. This is actually the side of the warehouse, and you can see this kind of abandoned vehicle here. Like I said, don't know anything about it. But if you do come, there is a place on the side here you might be able to park to take it. The gym is accessible in this little gravel area right next to here, but there's not really any parking. And like I said, I'm just not sure about the neighborhood as far as walking goes. So. One note I'd like to add is that I did look up the address, and it is in use, and it is called The Hut. It is a indoor skate park, and also hosts things like comedy performances, musical performances, things like that. I have no idea what they do for parking, and I also I'm not sure about the hours, how often it's used, things like that. I'd still say, you know, just watch out for yourself if you're going to go down there and try to get this gym. But just keep in mind that it is in use, even though it does look a little abandoned when you get there sometimes. But looks can be deceiving, and this city is always bigger than you think it is. One interesting thing to note is that you'll be able to see a gym and a lot of PokeStops from that gym, and which you'll see if you keep going down Northwest. And this is actually a much better part of town. This is called The Porch. It's a cool little eatery just off the road, and there's plenty of PokeStops. It's actually a very gym-rich environment. If you keep going on Northwest, you'll end up basically in the west end of town. So that's another thing to note, and it feels a little safer around that area.